So the Supreme Court recently blocked the Biden administration's student loan forgiveness program.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
On a 6-3 vote,
All right, field goal. Field goal. Go.
the conservative majority voted against the more progressive wing of the Supreme Court. They did so, citing that the Department of Education cannot cancel student debt.
Why not?
Why not?
The suit was brought by Missouri State.
Missouri. Misery. Huh.
Thanks a lot, Missouri.
Oh, we'd like to give a special thanks to
Kansas.
Nebraska.
And Arkansas.
Idaho. Apologies. Iowa.
Gila, they were not actively a participant in this suit. The state of Missouri brought it for Mohila. Mohila, from what I've read, apparently they had internal memos saying that they did not support this. They were not advocates for this, which is very strange to me that this went through on behalf of Mohila, even though they were not part of it. So that part's confusing to me. This student loan debt crisis is spiraling. It's been growing and growing for decades.
It's spiraling. It's moving fast.
It has gotten out of control. We're talking right now, I believe the numbers are about $1.7 trillion of student debt. Eventually this will get over to $2 trillion.
There is quite a bit of debt.
It is a student debt crisis that has affected the younger generations, have the lowest records of home ownership, business startup. It really has severely affected multiple generations now. The entire system has been just a terrible, awful, predatory system between the prices of universities being too much, the cost of it, private sector as well as the government sector taking advantage of young people. You know, we're talking ages of 18, 19, 20.
Young people.
You go in, you're trying to do what society says, of course, is the right thing to do, get an education,
Look, it's part of my education. I mean, you want me to get an education, don't you?
and you come out 4 to 5 years later anywhere from $40, $50, $60, $100,000 in debt and more. Of course, the interest rates are what make it worse because we all know the stories. You live it, I live it, we all live it.
Interest rates go up.
The reality is you end up paying $10, $20, $25,000 on a loan, and you end up owing $20, $30,000 more on that same loan.
By the way, are you acquainted with our state's stringent usury laws?
It's this interest rate spiral out of control.
The interest rate over 3,400 years is positively usurious.
Well, there are no protections for people with student loan debt, so there's no bankruptcy, very little consumer-friendly protections for people with student loan debt. One thing that I want to know, and I mean this sincerely, because I know a lot of conservatives and people on the right wing are against virtually any help at all for students.
Not a dime.
Where is the humanity?
On social media, I've seen a lot of conservatives kind of happy, like very cheering this new recent decision. They're very happy that people are going to stay in debt. I have two questions about that. Number one is, if you are somebody that's really happy about this, you do know that most people that would be receiving this, they have to be making $125,000, I believe, $125,000 or less.
The administration estimates that some 43 million borrowers will be eligible for some amount of student loan debt relief. And
okay, so we're not talking, a lot of times people say, oh, it's the really rich people that would be getting help. That's not true. We're talking about the poor.
Poor people?
Poor people?
Or middle class. Now, my question to conservatives are, what is your solution to the crisis?
So, what's the plan?
I have a plan.
You have a plan?
So if you're against forgiveness, what reforms are you? Are you for bankruptcy? Are you for freezing interest rates? We've had so many bailouts. This is my view. I know this might be a little extreme to some people, but we bailed out the banks. We bailed out the corporations. I have no issue bailing out the people. None. Not even a little bit. And I'm talking whether you're talking about homeowners, credit cards, student loans. I am all for helping the people because we've bailed out all these corporations, we've had all these wars. We always have money for that. You notice that? We always have money for the wars, we always have money for big corporations, big banks, trillions and trillions, easy, no problem.
Take it all.
But anytime poor people, middle class need a little bit of help. That's when it seems like everybody gets into an uproar. I'm not sure why that is. I'd like to know. Of course, Congress can act. The system needs to be reformed, and people do need help. So that's where the people have to come into play and put pressure on the representatives to fix the system.
There's more of us than there is of them.
Whether that's forgiving debt, whether that's redoing the interest rates, freezing interest rates, forgiving interest rates, making it to where student debt is dischargeable in bankruptcy.
Bankrupt! Bankrupt!
There's a lot of different things we can do, ways we can compromise with conservative.
See whether we have any common ground.
Reforming the system, perhaps getting the cost colleges down, scaling back the guaranteed loans the way we guarantee these massive amounts of loans for everybody.
We'll take out a loan.
Another loan.
When you say loan, do you mean the kind you pay back?
I have no way to pay that money back.
I will say I do agree with a lot of the libertarian conservatives that say that, well, you can't just forgive the debt and not reform it. I agree with that. I agree.
Finally, somebody's making some sense.
You have to reform it as well. You can't just forgive it and not do anything else, because this will happen again. So you have to definitely believe in some sort of forgiveness and reform, but you have to do both. You have to reform the system at the same time. So again, back to my other question, conservatives, what's your answer? Because you always are cheering anything against Democrats, anything against liberals, right? Like, you're happy about that? So I would love to know, what do you think? And not even just if you're conservative, if you're independent, if you're liberal, whatever.
From my point of view, from their point of view,
what do you think should be done? Should we forgive all the student loan debt? Should we freeze the interest rates? How do we reform this system that's really been broken? Some of you agree with this, some of you don't. I guess that's where the debate happens.
Can we all just get along?
Just a lot of questions I want to put out there, and I want to see what you think. Bye-bye.